Good afternoon. Hope this finds everyone well. I am Intuitive Venetia. I am here on TikTok and here on YouTube and on TikTok. Hopefully you're able to find me there in the search pretty easily. I've got called to come in here and do a reading, so I'm just going to wing it today because I'm not really sure who or what I'm doing this reading for, but we are starting with the Kipper. And if you know me personally, you know the Kipper is the storyteller for me. And I have the Talisman Oracles, the Energy Oracles, the Naked Heart Tarot. So I don't know who we're talking to today yet. I'm sure it'll come out pretty soon. And my sweet pea is here taking her nap. It's 80 degrees here. And I refuse to turn on the air conditioning. I don't care who lives here with me and is twice my size and can't take the heat. I don't care. I spend all winter freezing. I'm not turning on the air conditioner because tomorrow it's going to be 56 degrees here. So suck it up for the next 12 hours. You'll be all right. Thank you. Anyways, I'm not trying to be mean. I know some people can't control the body heat and air conditioning feels good, but this heat feels good to me. So anyhow, let's see where this reading is going because I feel like it's going to be a spicy one. Oh no, I'm feeling spicy. Very first card is out. The marriage card. Yikes. So, we're talking about a marriage or maybe a marriage coming. Who knows? For now, we will keep shuffling these beautiful cards. Let's see. I want to know what we're talking about when I do this reading, okay? The next card is Unexpected Income. That's its own quality there. The Wealthy Man. I'll give him his own aisle. And the Courthouse. Oh boy. Not sure what the hell that story is going to take me. And the Great Fortune. Unexpected Income and Great Fortune. Wealthy Man, Courthouse, and Marriage. And then the other card that keeps flying out. The 14-card message of concern. Of course, there's always a message of concern. That's why Kipper works so well. There's always something going on, right? Drama somewhere. Listen, it's got to do with the main male. Oh boy. We got a main male, a wealthy man, and a marriage. Unexpected income. Message of concern. Spirit, what story are we talking about here? Oh, in the coffin. Okay, listen. It doesn't necessarily mean a real death. The death card, coffin card, is about rebirth as well as it is about death. So death could mean, coffin could mean you're closing the cycle. You are ending something. Okay, it could be the message of concern, right? It could be somebody who's not well or somebody who already passed. Okay, so you need to understand we don't have a full story yet, but we're working on it. Okay, listen. Unexpected income, great fortune, wealthy man, courthouse, main male, marriage. Spirit, what are you trying to tell me here? What do I need to tell this collective group that's watching me at the moment, because I don't even know who I'm telling the story to, but you might know who the story's for, so that's why you need to like, share, subscribe, send it out there to everybody. And I got 4 more cards that just fell right out the deck. Here we are. Somebody is in despair or has been in despair. I'll put that under there. Starting a new path, new journey, I guess. I'll put that under the money. Adjudication, we're going to put next to the wealthy man with the courthouse because I feel like that has something to do with the wealthy man and the main man with the courthouse card, and somebody's going to end up in despair. Still not sure where the coffin card stands, but I'm going to put it off to the side right now because I don't really think it has anything to do with the marriage card. Now the marriage card doesn't have to be about marriage. I swear I live with a retard sometimes. Sorry, forgive me. I have moments with my roommate. Sometimes he sends me over the top real quickly. We now have the house card. So I'll put that under the marriage card because I think that's more than likely the conversation. So we have a marriage card with the house card and a message of concern. We have an unexpected income with great fortune and a path. So I would think, if you just came into money, you would definitely be going down a new road, right? So then we have a wealthy man and a courthouse with adjudication and main mail, despair, and coffin. So now that we're getting this story out here, we can start thinking about who and what we need to do about it. Okay, courtship. A courtship. I'm not quite sure where that one's going either, but we'll put it under adjudication for now. A mature man, so now we have 3 men involved here. Or the mature man, the wealthy man could be the same person, or vice versa, the mature man and the main male could be the same person. The community. So, adjudication, I'm already feeling that this has to do with something well known. So it could be within your community, could be within your home, could be within your town, it could be within your job, it could be within your local governments or your big governments. So those kind of community things that affect more than one person. Alright, so now we are going to pull some of the talisman oracles and see what's going on there, because I feel like Kipper here has told me all I need to know about who, what, where, when, and why. And now we got to figure out the other part. Is it somebody who's already passed away or somebody who's going to pass away? Or is it about something that has died in your life many years ago? Somebody coming back from the past? Like, I'm legally married, but I haven't been married before, so is it my ex, right? I'm not with anybody, but that's an example. Thoughts. So your thoughts have a lot to do with what's going on here. So let's try to make these thoughts as positive as possible, because seriously, we already have somebody in despair, and it's affecting a community. So we need to think positive and be positive so we can bring back in the positive into the situation. Okay. Any other cards from the Kipper to explain the storyline here? Nope, but the bottom of the deck says occupation, so there you go. We got more answers than you thought you would get there. So occupation has to do with an occupation, or your occupation, my occupation, job, something. Okay? A business. All right. Let me pull the talisman here. I know. I like my oracle cards. They tell more stories sometimes than the tarot does. The tarot is more about a question you might ask, and you can ask these cards questions too, but for me, what I'm seeing is that there's something really big going on here, and it has to do with a wealthy man, a main male, a mature male. And now when you're looking at these kind of cards, this Kipper deck, I have the gilded deck too, as far as the Lenormands are supposed to tell you a story, so you take them at face value. So when you're talking about a marriage, you're talking about a marriage. But it could be a business, because you can be married to work. Right? A house, we're talking about a house. I don't care who you are. I'm talking about unexpected income and a great fortune for a new path. And actually, it just says pathway. It doesn't say new, but your thoughts are taking you to the fact that if you don't have a big chunk of money now in your possession, and you get a big chunk of money in your possession that you didn't expect, you would probably be looking to travel down a pathway you wanted to travel for a long time and just haven't been able to because you didn't have the money. So that would explain that to me. And then in community, we're talking about a wealthy man, a main male, a courthouse, and adjudication. So something is happening within the court system. You know what I think about when I look at the coffin here? Our recent passing of Pope John Paul, the Pope. They have so many names, I don't remember. But that's the most recent death I could think of. So this might be causing some major despair in the lives of the people, the religious community, right? That could be one issue. But there's going to be some legal issues going with this. So that might be one of the issues that these cards are bringing forward. So let's see what the talisman wants to add here. Talisman Oracle by Nora Parkalia. Overcome fear. Okay, so this is probably because there's so much going on that people don't know what's going to happen next, that people are acting out of fear. I could see that being the case, especially if it was the Pope and, the country is, freaking out. I mean, obviously we knew his health wasn't good and his death was coming, so they must have been doing something to prepare for this. It's, oh God, he was alive today, he's gone tomorrow. I think we're prepared in a way for the situation, but are we doing something on purpose to make it worse than it needs to be? I mean, God rest his soul. He's home in heaven, and whatever his beliefs were his beliefs, but the whole country shouldn't fall apart because one man died. Right? I mean, we should have had this situation in our awareness as far as a government or a church goes. And we should have been getting prepared for his death for the next person to take his spot. So, it's not like we vote him in. That shit is already lined up by family, right? So I think that's how it works. I really don't know. I'm not religious. I have my own beliefs and my own reasons, and that's all right. But what little bit I do know, I feel like we should already be prepared for this person's death, for the next person to work on walking in and picking up where he left off. But it can cause some major problems. I mean, I have seen some of the clips in the films of people, hysterically crying, and it is very sad, okay? This person's been a part of the world for a long time. But at the same time, defense. Why do you need to be protected from somebody else's death? Does that make sense to you? Did he not die of natural causes? Was his health bad, or did somebody take him out? I mean, I don't see any thing in here that says something like that to me. So, but I mean, if you're going to have such an extreme aversion to what happened, there must be a reason for it. So I don't know, but that could be not the Pope. It could be anything in your own community. So what is going on in your world that has you feeling overcome with fear and needing to be defensive or take a defense for adjudication, going to court, a wealthy man, a mature man, you know what I'm saying? And what's your thoughts on that? I don't know. But I gotta tell you, the growth of energy is coming in with the next card here. Growth of energy. So when you look at it, there's eggs there. So it's a new beginning, it's a birth, it's a growth of energy, right? So we're going to grow from whatever is happening here and become successful. And I can tell you that because the next card is happiness. Okay? I'm curious to know why the great fortune is coming in, and if it's coming into one or many. because there is a union here, and we had a courtship and a marriage, so that has something very much to do with this situation. Alright. What do we know about this great fortune? That we're confirming it with good fortune. Yep. So that is confirmed. Ding, ding, ding. The wind's blowing like crazy behind me, and I got my door closed, so it's banging, but that's just so I can do this reading, because I just felt so drawn to it. So an occupation. So when we're talking about an occupation, it could be anything you're doing that brings in an income. Okay. And maybe you're going to travel somewhere with your good fortune, which is part of that pathway, right? The pathway. And maybe there will be a new union due to a courtship. Fuck you. I can't stand it. Excuse me, sorry. You know I'm making a video and you're burping outside my door like a big fat slob. Get the fuck away from me. You want to watch my videos? You might not like that one. Sorry. Christ. Be respectful. I'm your roommate and you're obnoxious sometimes. It's just annoying. And it's not funny or cute. Especially as you're hoarding food into your room when you're not supposed to. Sorry. I digress. Willpower. I need some strong willpower to collect myself on this situation before I blow up. Yes, I do. I just don't appreciate the disrespect. You know I'm on the other side of the door with the door closed for a reason. I'm doing a reading, and you're being rude and obnoxious on the other side of my door. For what reason? Okay. Respect. It's called respect. And I don't get any of that here. So that's why my situation is got me a bit uptight, but not despair. It's okay. I got to take it from where it comes. We don't all get to choose sometimes. And I know that it's partly for protection with this situation on these cards, not my personal position. And I do apologize for that outburst in the finger if you caught it. Forgive me. I am human. I have moments, and I don't tolerate disrespect very well, so I'm sorry. Protection is what we need to hear. So we are being protected, absolutely being protected. Okay. So the message of concern. I'm covering up this row now. Message of concern, pathway, courtship, despair, and coffin. So maybe this will also give us an answer that we're looking for regarding the despair coffin part. Okay. I know that someone I worked with passed away unexpectedly, but we were friends, but we weren't so ultimately close that I would be in despair. His family would be, absolutely. Very unexpected, and I'm very sorry for that loss. Very positive influence in most people's lives, and it's sad that he's gone, but a success. So good fortune, union, success. So we're going in the right direction here. I'm just trying to figure out what death. Why are we overcoming fear and using our willpower, which I just didn't use very well, I'm sorry. And then we have safe travel and good fortune, and great fortune, which was confirmed, protection and growth of energy, happiness. But then we have, in the next row, a message of concern with the pathway and the courtship and despair and the coffin, which I don't think has much to do with what I'm thinking here anyways. It has not to do with, it could be death of something but not a person. And because when I look at occupation, I want to feel like maybe a business failure, because we are backed up with a concern right behind occupation. And behind that card is the thief card and the privileged lady. So, what did we steal here? Okay. I guess I dropped like 10 cards, but only one flipped over. And that was something we all need to find in this situation right now. Find your equilibrium. There's a lot of things going on. So there's a thief on the occupation, and they're concerned about who it is, but it's somebody who thinks he's better. She's better than everybody else. The privileged lady, who may be the main female as well, can be the same person, who is a thief. So we need to have the right equilibrium, right, on this situation that's going to come out successful and have safe travels. Okay. Do we know who? Personally? Or are we talking about, well, it says privileged lady, so I almost want to say somebody higher than us. Like, not your everyday person. But there is a thief who's a big thief, and we need to know who that is. Hey. And we have confidence. Okay, so we're confident in who it is. Now, what we need to become more confident in is learning the truth. All right, so that talisman has told us that. What I need to know is why. And be mindful, absolutely be mindful of what you're saying and what you're doing. If there's a similar situation to this that you're resonating with in this story, please do be mindful, because what you say and what you do can cause more harm than good. And it will not help the situation if you are absolutely wrong about what you're saying. So accusations, lies, don't make them up just because you want to look like you know something you don't know. Just shut up for a while. Grounding. Absolutely need to ground yourselves in this situation. It is affecting many, but it is affecting 2 to 3 people directly in this situation. And I'm not sure if it's somebody higher. Spirits, somebody was trying to find love. Okay, so maybe the courtship fails in the path that somebody decides to take, or the marriage. I mean, we have adjudication here, so it could end up in a law, in a courtroom. Could be for divorce, or maybe not. Karmic justice. Okay. So this is basically telling me that somebody who's had it coming a long time is finally going to receive their karma. And somebody should be in despair, because the things they have done are despicable. They should be in despair, and they should feel the wrath of Jesus Christ himself coming down on him or her. I just really wish I knew who we're talking about with that coffin. Like a higher being, or the president's wife, or are we talking about the co-worker's wife, or are we talking about your brother's wife? I mean, these are the kind of things I'm trying to get an answer to from Spirit. It tells me a lot of personal stuff here, so I don't want to think it's somebody too high and mighty, or maybe it's somebody who thinks they're high and mighty. That could be somebody who thinks they're above everybody else. Going to receive their karmic justice. Boy, does that ring like really true there. So that privileged lady, so whatever situation is going on with you that resonates with this, you need to find balance with your equilibrium. You need to ground. You need to have patience. You are going to learn the truth of the situation. And the thief is going to be in despair and find their coffin. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to unalive themselves. It means that their situation is going to stop, and they are going to get caught red fucking handed. And I still feel somewhere to do with an occupation. That, because it doesn't just come out for the hell of it, you know what I mean? It has to do with an occupation, a business, a corporation, something. You are going to show your true resilience in this situation, and your pride isn't going to be, your ego and your pride isn't part of what we need here, right? What we need to know is who the thief is, for sure. We need to be aware and learn the truth. We need to stay resilient with ourselves and the situation, because you're not going to believe who it is when it comes out. And you need to know now that the universe itself has taken the time to protect you from whatever wrath is coming from that thief in that occupation. No joke. Expectations are important, because I would expect that person to land in jail, if not in a grave, with the death sentence. Or wishing they were. So like I said, this is going to definitely affect more than one person. It is going to help a situation where you need to travel, and the lawsuits are coming aplenty. And with your home that was here before, the family room has come up, so it will be discussed like it's big news in many homes. And once that message is completely out there and the truth has been spilled, the thief, the person from that occupation or whatever that has damaged many people's lives, will be in poverty. Finding love. You will move forward. You will find love. That's one of the messages coming after the situation goes through. I still see something about a courtroom, so you're still concerned about that, but don't worry about it. That's going to work out just fine. The karmic justice comes for all of us. Okay, and when I say karmic justice, that means good karma and bad karma. So if you've been doing bad things, you're going to get bad karma. So you are going to naturally be connected and corrected by the universe. And that's why this person here, and I will show you all the cards I put in this corner, this person here, the thief, right? That thief is going to either end up in one of three places, if not all of them. Poverty, imprisonment, or coffin. Hopefully, somewhere down the road, they will learn from the mistake of taking on the wrong people and trying to hurt, because their despair is not going to end. They will be in despair the rest of this lifetime, if not the next. Your willpower, your absolute willpower, and your resilience in this situation, no matter how long it takes or how long you got to deal with it, is always going to end in your favor in good karma. You have to stay strong, because the truth is coming out. So whatever you do, take a daily walk, put your feet in the sand. If you're near a beach, put your feet in the grass. Hug a fucking tree, I don't care, but keep your ass grounded. Carry some stones and crystals. Now, I know we do this every time I'm here. Stones and crystals. All kinds of crystals will help ground you. I have this one on. This has got tree moss agate crystals inside with water. And these are pretty easy to make on your own, too. I have some little tubes that I want to make some of these, but the tube's a little bigger, so you may not wear it, but you may hang it off your mirror. I can make those up pretty quickly. But you put them in water, so you're building the water for that stone. And tree moss agate is a very grounding stone, and it's very important for earth grounding to happen. You can walk outside, find a patch of grass. I don't care where you are. You can hug a tree. Sit by water, pond, ocean, don't matter. Something to help make you feel grounded and ready to take it on, because it is going to mess with your equilibrium, which is why you need to be grounded, and it is going to incorporate traveling, and you are going to cut many ties when you're done with this. Like, you're going to pay off some imaginary debts created by others, and then you're going to walk away. But you are going to walk away successful, with good fortune, great fortune that you did not expect. See, good fortune. These confirmed each other. You need to understand that, okay? So the concern is going to take it to a courtroom, okay? And the expectation is he's going to jail. And I'm feeling the main female, occupational, something to do with an occupation. So it could be a big corporate conglomerate. It could be an everyday store. I mean, I feel like it's an everyday store, or a local store, something not as big as it should be, but it ends up blowing up the feeds. But you're going to end up happy, and you're going to end up with a new occupation of your own business, a new union, which is for you a new courtship, confirmation. Okay. And fully protected because of the growth of energy that you are creating by grounding every day. Every single moment you get the opportunity to do it. In the house, in the family room, which means we're having this discussion more than just your own family. It's big enough to be involving many families. But it is bringing in a great fortune for a big group of people. And that means you're going to be finding love. See, then again, I just got done telling you that, right? Finding love, moving forward, family, courtship, right? So again, that confirmation is there, right? We are getting so many confirmations in this reading. So the one thing you do need to know is don't take this lightly. And definitely move forward and share this, because other people may need to see this. That maybe it won't resonate with you, but somebody will. Because the messages are coming through, and some of them are to your personal phone. Some of them will be to your email. And some of them will be knocking on your goddamn door. So you need to answer. You need to answer. Keep yourself in confidence and grounding, because this is about somebody who's privileged, who's supposed to be a mature adult, and may or may not be married to a mature man. And all of this brings thoughts of what the fuck did I do, right or wrong, right? But you will get that unexpected income. That's coming. And it is a big change, which is why you would be definitely going on a new path. But that thief is bad. There's something wrong with that person. And I don't just mean physically. It could be very mentally wrong with somebody, okay? We don't take enough care in this world to deal with people's mental health. We really do not. And we should. But somebody definitely thinks they are above us. And it is somebody who thinks they are above us. Somebody whose thoughts and patterns of thinking are way out of line. Which is going to bring in that gift to you and your family. Because they do not understand mentally. They do not understand. So this is where the defense comes in, the grounding and the protection and feeling in the defense of something. Defend yourself, but protected, walk away. So you need to overcome the fear of what's coming, because it is coming no matter what you do. You just need to prepare yourself as much as you can because you do not want it to affect your children. You need to protect them if you have children or grandchildren. It's going to be big enough. I told you it's still a community issue. And it involves a wealthy man, a privileged lady, and one man out of the whole deal is going to save the day and bring in that sudden wealth. There's a lot of money coming in, and somebody doesn't understand that they broke the law and they go into jail, and they might become a mental health issue. All right, that's the despair coming. That karmic justice is right there, and that false person is going to be met by an official person, and that journey to death is on his way, her way. Doesn't matter if it's a he or she at this point of the game. The journey is beginning to end for this person, the thief, the false person. What you need to do, if you are anywhere near this cycle, is protect yourself, ground yourself, and overcome the fear that it's about you, because it's not. You might be in the middle of something that you never planned on being in the middle of. So going forward, Spirit, for anyone that resonates with this, anyone, please and thank you. If it does not resonate with you, move forward and let it go. Once this story does resonate with you and we get past a certain point, we have to move forward and let it go. So that applies to everybody. You will have to let it go, because their just rewards, their karma is coming for them, but it might not be as severe as you think it should be. They will be toiling and laboring for the rest of their lives if they are still on this planet, but it will be in a prison. Because again, here we are at the courthouse, adjudication. Don't forget that. The Spirit, one more card to tell us, focusing on letting it go once it's past, but letting go of the pain, letting go of the problem. We have to learn to, it's been dealt with, and move on. You can't be rehashing something that's happened for the last 15 years and think that your life is going to move forward in a different way. You have to let it go. If it is close enough to you, you will grieve. You will feel that loss. You will cry. You should allow yourself to cry and heal, letting it go at the end. Anything else Spirit could tell me with this deck right now? Anything else here? Is there any other decks calling to me? Knowledge. So as much as you can find out on your own, do the research, get the information, because that is also protection for you. Okay? Knowledge is everything. When you can speak it, nobody can attack you. They know you're right. Now, any other? I got 3/4 of this deck out, so it applies to many people. In many situations, they may be different. You can have a thief in one place, but that false person could have caused a whole lot of chaos in a whole nother place. So you got to understand, as when I do these readings and they come to me like this, it does not for one person. It's for people in groups, and it could be here in New York where I live. It could be in Washington. It could be in China. It could be anywhere. But it's going to make a major effect, and we are all going to feel something to do with this. And maybe it's already underway. I feel like we've already been getting those messages. Robot. Yep. But don't miss this message, okay? Don't miss this message. Don't miss that one. It's part of it. And it is going to help many people. I feel like that false person, if she or he is different from the thief, is the one that actually is in bad physical health. Okay. Any other cards from this deck, Spirit, for answers and questions and information that needs to be brought to the collective for this reading? Anything else? Okay, bottom of the deck, navigation. So, how we all choose to navigate this community issue, something that we all have to grieve in one way or another. And it can be different for each community. It could be a different thing that happens. So I'll give you an example. Like at my job, in the occupation that I had, one of my friends passed away. So I'm very sad. But he lived a full life. And he's up in heaven with his wife now. And so at the same time, I can grieve the loss of a friend. But I'm so happy for him that he's on the other side with his wife again. And he's at peace. And he's not in pain. And he's not dealing with the everyday bullshit. He's 80 years old and was still working. You understand? He didn't need to do that. Okay. He was a retired officer. Okay. For other purposes, it could be the president of a union decides we're breaking the union down. And now you guys have been paying into this union for 30 fucking years, and now all of a sudden you got no union protection. And some major shit is coming down through the corporation or the business or the job that you're in, and now you're kind of fucked because all of a sudden all these people are getting fired and the union's not protecting them anymore. That's kind of already happening, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So some of that is going to cause the lawsuits. Yeah, and some of them are going to be won, and that's where some of that money's coming in. But there are bad people out there, and I don't feel like they're at the top of the ranks here. Bad people who've been flying under the radar for a long time. And they are now going to get pulled out. I guess that's kind of happening too. I mean, if you want to look at your government, we're pulling some double dippers out of the system, aren't we? And we want to blame everybody else for this or that, but we've been allowing it for the last 30 years, so it's not one president's fault or the others, to be honest with you. It is the government as a whole has turned into, instead of being here for the people and helping the people survive, like other places, they pay for their health care. We don't have to pay for our own health care. Why are we paying for our health care? Because these rich politicians who are doing nothing for us are making themselves richer. And you can argue with me on my community if you want, but you already know this shit's true, and it doesn't matter which side of the fence you're on, red or blue, it doesn't fucking matter. Somebody is stealing from the po-po, okay? They're stealing. They've been stealing from us for years. We're killing ourselves at jobs that want even more from us for less, and then they have the audacity to fire you because you were driving in a snowstorm and didn't get to work. Okay. Alright, whatever. So navigate what you're going to do in your situation very lightly. Tread lightly. And I will wish you all good luck, because the people on the good right side of that karma deserve that unexpected income and deserve that happiness, and it will come through. So you have to be who you are. You can't go out there and act like the biggest bully in the world, start looting and doing all this bullshit that makes you no better than the situation that's happening, okay? And we've seen that many times with the power outage, and now we're talking about that, okay? Here's another political thing going on, right? I'm trying to figure out who's going to take down the grid so we all go without power. Well, I'm a little older, so I kind of know how to make a fire, and I know where my son lives, so I can go over there, and I know how to cook on a fire, and I just, we all get so lost in technology we forget that this shit didn't exist 35, 40 years ago. And we were writing letters. And I miss those days, I'll be honest with you. I miss writing letters and reading somebody's handwork. It means they took the time and they felt what they said and they wrote it down on a piece of paper and you got it in the mail and you read it. Instead of an email or a text message with no feeling behind it, so you don't really know what they meant. And then all of a sudden you can take offense to it because you think they meant something they didn't really mean. So isn't it better to have a conversation in person? I think so. Let's see what these oracles, angel oracles, have to tell me. One or two of these cards, universe, to tell us if we're going to be okay moving forward. How should we continue to go? This situation isn't going to get over with quickly, I can tell you that. There will be many helpful people out there to help work this situation out. So help others as well as receive help. And let go. Confirmation, right? Let go once it's done. Because if we hold on to it, you're just going to recycle it. And it's going to happen again. And then it's going to happen again. We have to learn to heal and move forward, whatever it may be for you. Okay? There are plenty of people out there willing to help. You have to get grounded. Of course, we talked much about grounding. And you need to remain positive. Positive, positive, positive. Yes, there's going to be a lot of bad things happening. But how you receive it and what you do makes it different. Okay, you can become the looter, breaking down the stores and stealing shit that don't belong to you because, we don't have any electric and we can't pay for it. No. You're going to sit back and wait for the big boom to happen. And you're going to move forward and help others get through it. Because that's what you are. Because there's something better coming after it. Okay? I can't tell you any more confirmations with that. It's going to get better. But we have to go through this as a community, as a team. I'm not sure for you what it will be. It could be a tsunami in another country. It could be a hurricane down south. It could be anything. So you need to understand these things are going to happen in the next month to 2 months, if they're not already in progress. I think some of this is already in progress. And we talked about that. I'm not political. I don't get into political stupid conversations because it's always about stupid opinions. And all the facts can be swayed because half of it is fake news. So I don't want to go there with any of that bullshit, okay? I'm telling you, intuitively, somebody is going to be in despair. Somebody is going to be in bad health. Somebody is false, causing most problems. And they are all going to get their karmic justice. And the unexpected income, the blow up of money, but this person here that brought it all to us is going to either end up in a coffin, imprisoned, poverty. So you need to understand the thief, that false person, liar, cheater, thief, as we would call it in tarot, their time is over. You just have to wait a little bit longer, be patient, get grounded, protect yourself and your family. I don't care if you got to build a fence and put a fucking gate up and an alarm system that goes boom and blows whoever the fuck up on the other side that ain't supposed to be there. I don't care. Protect yourself. That doesn't mean blow people up with guns, killing people. It just means instinctively how you would protect your family without bringing harm to anybody else. That's what you need to be doing. So, universally, we all need to be grounded. We all need to have faith in whatever we have faith in, whether it's God, Jesus, Jehovah, whoever you believe in. And we need to go back to those times where we knew, and it is scientifically proven about God, but nobody wants to hear that either. And it could be God, it could be that, we call it God or Jesus Christ. It's all the same. It's all the same. It's just that different religions see that person, that entity, as a different name. All the same. All the same. And their own swing on what he or she does for us. Okay, it's all the same. All I know is you need to be assertive, but not stupid. Be assertive and be positive. Know that something better is coming along. Know that there are going to be people who will need your help as much as you need their help. And you are going to wait. Keep yourself grounded. Be patient and tolerant. And at the end, when it's all done, 2, 3, 4 months from now, you're going to let it go. And some things are going to affect others more than us. Okay? That's what you need to understand. Some of these things coming are going to be bigger issues. The door. I hate that wind blowing my door. That just means I need to bring this to an end and move on with what I'm doing. Okay? Please like, share, subscribe. Again, my name is Intuitive Venetia. Please drop comments in the thing down below, because I would love to know what's going on in your neck of the woods, in your communities, things that are blowing up to do with occupations or businesses, courtships or marriages, business. Yeah. I would say that we will all be back and in good places going forward within a year. Okay? A year from now, this will be over. So it's going to happen in many different places. Different things are going to happen for different people. And I need you to understand that you have to be that person that God gave you on this green earth. Remember where you came from. Remember who you are. And stop. Think before you act. People are reactive. And you don't need to be reactive if you're going to help others. And you need to help others. You need to do that. It's up to you, though, because you all have free will. And that's all I can tell you. I will pray for all of us, because we will definitely be needing those prayers. The next month or 2 months, maybe 3, is going to be the most difficult time for different things and different people. And it's going to spread out for another year before we can all move forward. But you have to work on letting go and going forward. Okay? Please share in the comments anything going on with you. Maybe I can read a little bit more further into different situations that I see coming. If I have more information. Sometimes that's easier, but I'm not a psychic. Let me clarify. I'm an intuitive empath, so I do not know what some mediums and psychics know. I just feel the energy. The energy is very, very strong right now, and it is very angry. And I think that some of that itself does have to do with our good Lord and what's going on, that he has to. I mean, we just had Easter. We just celebrated his birth, right? We just celebrated him. And here we are destroying our own fucking planet. So, all the things that he's done for us. And we're not honoring it. We need to be grounding. We need to take care of Mother Gaia, our earth. Because that's what's going to take care of you in the end. That is what's going to make everybody healthy and everybody happy again. And it's going to be okay, because I do see a positive ending to all of this. Positive ending and a new journey. Okay? And it is going to be an unexpected income change. It is. Your thoughts will redirect it. It can be negative or positive, but you have control over that. You have your own free will. Okay? You may not be able to pick out of the conversation who the false person is or who the thief is. So be careful who you're accusing. Okay? Alright. I'm going to move on and release this energy. I have to burn a candle now because this is killing me. But feel free to leave comments. Like, share, subscribe. Again, my name is Intuitive Venetia. Share with me whatever you would like to share, then maybe I can read further into the situation. For you more personally than for anybody else. I'll be back again. I think my next reading I have to do is Sagittarius and Scorpio. I'm going backwards, so, and Libra. That's my next 3 readings. So, with that, I am sending love, light, healing to all of you. Get grounded. Get a plan. Doesn't have to be a major plan, just something like a backup plan. Okay? And we will continue with this dialogue. If you give me some comments in the comment section, I may be able to add more to it. Thanks for coming in and seeing me. Love and light.